Boy and his dogs here, playing Hexcells Infinite, moving on to puzzle 4-4. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the 2's first. So we have our 2's there, so we can eliminate that one, and that one. Do some basic moves here. Alright, now let's look at the center column. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can make all these blue now. Deselect our 6 up top. We now have our 3 around there, so we can eliminate these 2. Alright, let's take a look here. So we have 1, 2, there'll be one more left, and we know it has to be one of these 3 for that 3 to work. So we can eliminate everything that's on the outside of that region. Now we've got our 3 there. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at this 3. We have 1, 2. So we know one of these 2 will be blue. Now let's look at the 4. We have 1, 2, and we know that one of these 2 will be blue, and this one can't be because then that would total 4. So we can delete this one. So now we have 1, 2, 3. And we know at least one of these will have to be the 4th one. So we can also eliminate this one that's on the outside. Okay, let's take a look at this column. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we can't solve that one quite yet. Alright. So let's take a look at this 4 again. So you have 1, 2, 3. And only one of these can be the 4th one. Now let's take a look at this column and then look at this. So we know only one of these 2 will be blue for this 1. We know only one of these 2 potentially could be blue. So that means we know this bottom one will definitely be blue for that 3. And also, because we know one of these 2 will be blue, we can eliminate the rest in this column. Alright, so let's take a look at the 2. So we know at least 2, excuse me. So we got 3. So we know at least 2 more will be around this 3, so we can eliminate these 3 outside. Alright, so now we can solve for our 2 there. And we have our 1 in the column now, so we can eliminate that one, deselect our 1. And for this 3, we've solved that. We have our 2 there. We have our 2 there, so we can eliminate this one. Slowly working our way back up to that top right area. We have our 2 there. 1, 2. So we solved for these. We'll go ahead and deselect them. Alright, got our 1 there. Let's see, do any of these cut across? So for this 2, we know that one of these 2 will be blue, but we're still not sure where the other one is, and it'll be up here. Alright, let's take a look. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's too many. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've solved for that 5. For that 4, we have 2 out of the 4. Alright, so let's take a look at this 1. So we know one of these 2 will have to be blue for this 1 to work here. So we can eliminate these 3 down here. Alright, so we'll take a look at this 2 and this 1. So we know that for this 2 to work, it'll be either this one and this one, or this one and this one. And so, regardless, and then for this one right here, we know it's going to be one or the other. So for either combination, we know that it has to be that one has to be safe, has to be a blue one. Since we know that one of these will be blue solving this one, we know this and this one can't be blue, because then that would make that 2. So we can eliminate those 2. We now have our 3 around that. Alright, let's take a look here. We've got 3 out of our 4. Now we can solve for our bracketed 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's see here. Let's look at this row. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can't quite solve for that one yet. Okay, we have our 2 in this column, so we can delete the rest there. So now we can solve this. 1, 2. We have our 2 there. Let's do our count for 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so now we have 1 here, and we know one of these will be blue, so that'll be our 2. So we can eliminate this outside one. Alright, so now we have 4, so one of those will be eliminated. We're not quite sure which one will be eliminated yet. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we know one of those will be our 5th. So here we have 1, 2, 3. One of those will be blue for the 4, so that means this one has to be blue for our 5th. We now have 4 here, so we can eliminate the other hexagons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and we got our 3 there, our 3 there, and our 2 there. So we can deselect these, which we've solved for. Alright, so for this one we can do 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that is going to be our blue. We have our 6 and we have our 2. Alright, so let's take a look at this column. So we know that 2 can't go here because that would make this one not work. So one of those will be eliminated, so we know this bottom one will be safe. Okay, so we have our 2 there. We can eliminate that one, and we've solved now that column for 4. Alright, let's take a look here. So we have 1, 2. So 2 more are going to be hanging out there. Let's take a look at this. So only 1 more is going to be here. 1 more is going to be here. Let's look at this 4. We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, we can mark that. Okay, that should help us out. So now we have 1, 2, 3. So we know only 1 more in this region here is going to be our 4th one. Let's take a look at our 5 now. So for our 5, we have 1, 2, 3. Only one of these will be blue. 4, 5. So we know these 2 are going to be safe. So we've solved for our 1 now. We have our 2 there. Alright, let's do this again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We know one of these will be our 5th, so we can eliminate this one. That has to have a space. Alright, then for this last one, what we'll do is we'll take a look up and see that we have only 1 remaining, so we know that one's going to be safe. And that's how you get a perfect in 4-4. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it.